News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Very warm welcome to Newsline, live from the Dawson Street studios of TV1. Good morning, and joining me is Bandula Jayasekara.
Morning, Faraz.
Morning, how are you doing?
What's happening to the court?
The launder's got it.
Okay.
It's being laundered. No money being laundered there. And we're also joined by Dr. Harita Alutke, the Assistant Secretary of the GMOA. Very good morning, Doctor.
Very good morning, very good.
And it's nice to have you on the show, and especially because the country is wondering what on earth is happening at the GMOA. Why is the GMOA being called before the CID for a booklet, for example?
Yeah.
What is this booklet?
Yeah. First of all, from GMO point of view, we would like to thank the MTV and the TV1 for inviting for this program and giving us the opportunity to produce our views. And to your question, the CID has recently questioned our Secretary, Dr. Nalinda Herath, over a booklet we have published about 4 years back, that is in 2012. This is this booklet that is regarding the establishment of specialist registry and introduction of an evaluation procedure for foreign medical specialists.
Now, this is the sort of guidelines that controls the involvement or the practicing of foreign doctors in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, you are quite right. And this basically this booklet was published in collaboration with the Ministry of Health Sri Lanka in 2012 by the GMOA. And you are right in introducing this as a evaluation procedure for foreign medical specialists who are coming to Sri Lanka to practice in Sri Lanka from other countries.
Because there are obviously very serious implications when we have foreign doctors who are qualified elsewhere and who are in terms of liabilities and accountability. That's what you are.
Yeah, actually the Sri Lanka has a very good medical ordinance and it is monitored and it is evaluated by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Every doctor who is coming from a foreign country should undergo some procedure, and they should be registered with the Sri Lanka Medical Council before practicing in Sri Lanka.
Just as much as you would be under the same rules if you were to go to, say, England and practice in England.
Yeah, they have their regulations.
Right. So there's nothing wrong in us having our regulations.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But why have the CID suddenly awoken, do you think? Do you think there's been some mischievous work behind?
Yeah. We are suspecting that because the thing is that we have asked from the CID about the complaint or photocopy of a copy of the complaint, but they haven't produced it to us. But they have given this guidance, or they have given our side that some doctor who was expelled from the GMO about 2-3 years back has lodged this complaint, who is very close to the government politician, has lodged this complaint saying that there is some printing mistakes or something wrong in this booklet regarding the medical ordinance.
So let me get this right, Bandura. So the CID have now become the sub-editor of the book. They're checking the spelling now.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have published
absolutely amazing.
This is interesting.
This is very interesting.
We have published many publications. There can be some printing mistakes in these books. And
how about
actually
you sending your paper to the CID?
Yes, perhaps I'll send the paper to the CID so they can sub it.
Yeah,
check the
that's the thing.
And check the spelling mistakes.
Yeah. That is also
it's
one of
absolutely
our
amazing. Anyway, and that's such is the new life under the new governance.
But Harita, now, I mean, why are you scared of doctors coming in here and practice? Because we have Sri Lankan doctors all over the world doing very well in the world.
The thing is, most of the specialists who came to Sri Lanka in this 2012 era was from India. We know that India, the standards in medical education and the medical practice is far below the Sri Lankan standards at the moment also.
How can you say that? I mean,
because there's an article published by the previous Indian Health Secretary. She is saying that 1 out of 6 medical faculties is corrupted, and they are producing low quality doctors. At the moment, the European countries they have said that Indian doctors, they are more strict than the Sri Lankan doctors in recruiting to their services in European countries because of their lack of standards in some of the medical faculties in India.
Is it because the standards are at it's very variable, or is it just that it's
actually
low?
India is a very complex situation is India, unlike Sri Lanka, because they have states and they have their separate medical councils in states, and some of the doctors who have come to Sri Lanka are only restricted to those states. They have not have the overall registration under the Indian Medical Council, and therefore they are subspecialists, or they are substandard specialists, and they were coming here and they were practicing as specialists and super specialists, and the patients of the lives of our patients were at risk at that time.
But when Apollo started, then that was Indian, and then it became Lanka Hospital. But you have plenty of Indian nurses, Indian doctors still working at Lanka Hospital.
Yeah, that of course regarding the paramedical staff, they have come through this BOI as a BOI project, and not as a service agreement. And some of the officers who have come here, they may be having some problem that also we have to regulate.
So in terms of insurance cover, and let's say on a claim of negligence, would these foreign the people, you say the paramedical staff who've come through a BOI agreement, would that insurance still be valid?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to look into that, because through a BOI agreement they have come here, and if one of the patients lodged a protest, I think the private medical institution that is getting their services is responsible. And as far as these individual persons are concerned, there is a problem, and we have to go into that, and we have to keep our house in order before opening our doors to the other countries.
So you all are just making sure that all things are okay, and that's why you want this process, and that booklet explains that process.
Yeah, this is a proposed evaluation procedure, and Health Ministry has agreed to implement this, but some 3 private hospitals has lodged a complaint in the courts, and the court hearing is still going on. That is why this procedure is not fully implemented at the moment.
How many man hours would you have lost because you've had to go to the CID to answer questions about spelling mistakes?
Yeah, at the moment only 2 hours, because our secretary was only person who is questioned at the moment, but they have said that they are getting repeated calls. CID has said that they are getting repeated calls to implement investigate this complaint, and they said that they may have to go to our president, Dr. Anuruddha Padini, who is a specialist, and I don't know whether...
Who is calling them? Who is calling the CID?
According to in front of our lawyer, the CID personnel said that they are getting repeated calls from the Prime Minister's office
to investigate this.
Yeah.
But okay, having said that, why is the GMOA fighting with our Prime Minister?
Yes, our dear Prime Minister trying his best to be a headmaster.
Yeah, actually we are having a dialogue with all the government ministers, especially our Minister of Health, Dr. Rajit Senaratne. We have had several rounds of discussions, and we met the President twice within the last 2 months, and we have given our professional viewpoint, and I think the Prime Minister is responding to that. And actually we had a meeting with Prime Minister also. The Prime Minister was a totally changed person in that meeting, and he has a very cordial relationship with us. But I don't know whether somebody is feeding the Prime Minister from some wrong information. The Prime Minister is commenting through the media about the GMO.
Not directly to you all. He doesn't convey this.
At the discussion he was very friendly and cordial, and he has directed the Health Minister to issue some of our problems, and also the Finance Secretary to issue our other problems.
You have heard of a saying. They say that diplomacy, the art of this diplomacy, is to say and do the nastiest things in the nicest possible way. You heard that, have you, Bandula? There's another question coming in from one of our viewers. They want to know why it is that you all appear to be having a better relationship with President Maithripala Sirisena and his government than you all did under President Rajapaksa, and whether you all were intimidated by the former Defence Secretary's presence?
Yeah, that I have to answer, because actually at that time the previous regime, our health minister was the present president, minister was Mr. Maithripala Sirisena,
right.
And actually from the recent recent past, the former health minister Mr. Maithripala Sirisena was very cordial and friendly towards the GMOA, and when we produced some the problems to the health ministry, he always intervened and directed the issues to the relevant parties, and he intervened and solved our issues. Therefore, we didn't have the opportunity in producing into the media and giving publicity to some of our issues.
But Hari, the government says that, the present government says that you all were quiet then because you all were scared of Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Yeah, actually, to answer that question, this booklet was produced in 2012 regarding the Indian invasion of this low quality doctors, and we have raised our voice in that period. For the last 4 years we are fighting for this CEPA, or this Indian agreement. That was the previous regime. At that time we have started, and we don't have any individual factors, and we are making the voice for the policies.
So you're not scared of Gotabaya Rajapaksa?
No, at the moment also, or the previous regime, we have raised our voice in our issues.
Another question from down south. Dr. Namal Gamage in Karapiti Hospital has done 60% of the heart surgeries, when others all over have done only 40%. Why is that one doctor doing 60%, the others doing only 40%?
Yeah, actually there was some problem in the Karapiti also regarding some dispute, and Dr. Namal Gamage is a very efficient and he's also a member of the GMOA, and actually in that regard also, in that problem also, we have supported Dr. Namal Gamage as a trade union. And actually we have to get an example. Other doctors also has to get the example of Dr. Namal Gamage in this regard.
Let's see.
How is Nimal Siripala Silva as a Minister of Health?
Yeah, actually our last health minister was
the present president. Yeah.
And before that it was the Nimal Siripala Silva era. And when we compare the two ministers, we feel a difference between the two, because the relationship with Nimal Siripala Silva, who was the previous minister, was not that good compared to Minister Maithripala Sirisena.
And the present one, Dr. Rajitha Senarath?
Actually, at the moment also we are having a very good dialogue with him, but the thing is that in the health ministry's side, some of the decisions taken at the minister's meeting is not implemented fully at the moment.
Yeah.
See, well, when we come back, because we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, let's discuss another contentious matter, which is ECTA, and also concessionary permits to doctors and sexism. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Newsline, and we're joined here by Dr. Haritha Alutke. Doctor, one of the viewers has taken umbrage at us that we are making a big fuss about giving doctors concessionary vehicle permits. And the viewer says that doctors here are doing a great service because they get a free education, and then they work in Sri Lanka for a fraction of the salary that they may command overseas. My argument to that is that if you get a free education, you need to put something back, and you can then go on earn your money if you want. But why should the government give doctors concessionary vehicle permits?
Yeah, actually that is a very good question, because one of our demands is also somewhat similar to that question, and this is regarding not a permit. That is this issue is focused on official transport facilities for the doctors. There's a circular called 2299 which was issued in 1999. It says that the government executive officers, they are entitled for official transport. We are having a discussion for the last 10-15 years to include the doctors also into that circular, but the problem is out of the executive grade officers in Sri Lanka, that is around 30 to 35,000, majority nearly 80,000 are doctors. The ministry and the government is telling us that the financial burden which will have to be carried out by the government is more, and therefore they have given a concessionary permit in view of that. And at the moment, through the 2016 budget, the government all of a sudden decided that they will not give any concessionary or duty-free permits. Actually, the duty-free permits were issued to the parliamentarians and the ministers, and we are only getting a duty concession permit. That is, we have. Even though
pay some duty.
more than 80% in some instances of the tax, and we were getting that. And actually the difference between the ministers and the parliamentarians and the government service of the doctors was that we are asking the permit to get a vehicle to go from Colombo to Ferry to work, and the vice versa is happening in the ministers level. They are coming to Colombo using the vehicles from the villages, and actually the number of consultants or the specialist grade medical officers in 2006 was around 600, and we have now it is around 3 times 1,800. Even in remote areas like Kilinochchi and Mullaitivu, there are specialists working, and for them to go from Colombo to those peripheral areas, they need a good vehicle, and therefore the need for a concessionary permit was much valued.
Yeah, but then what happened, Harathi? All because you asked for the permit, you want to go on strike, so that's what people don't like, that so that people feel harassed because of this duty-free permit. Can't use any other measures to pressure.
Yeah, actually at the initial stage, government said that they won't give any to anybody, but they have changed their mind, and now they have given the ministers and the parliamentary members the previous permit that
we don't approve that. I mean, we don't approve.
They have not changed, and due to our pressure, they have said that they will now give the first concessionary permit in 5 years, and next in 10 years, and there will be a retirement permit also. We are not agreeable to that, and we are asking the previous one, because the practical situation is that when we imported a car which is used in some other country, the 5 year is the
but you do private practice, don't you? I'm sure you have lots of money. You are a rich doctor, aren't you?
Yeah, this thing is you have to discuss this thing, because this view in the society is not that clear, because the only 40 of less than 50% of the doctors are doing private practice, and most of the doctors.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. Most of the doctors are living through the government the salary, and that due to this restrictions in the salary compression ratio, the government doctors are getting only basic salary of around 30,000 to 50,000 rupees, and even the health secretary is getting the only the fourfold increase amount as from the minor staff.
I see. We've got another question from somebody, a retired maritime captain. We have to wait hours to see a specialist today. That shows that we lack doctors. You are blocking the private medical college, as the examinations can be conducted by the state, like in the marine field.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, actually our stand in the private medical college is somewhat neutral, because we are not against private medical colleges as far as the government takes a policy decision regarding that. After doing a scientific evaluation, we will decide on the due course, because in the last 2016 budget speech, Minister Ravi Karunanaike has clearly stated they will promote the higher education opportunities in other fields and not the medical education, because through medical education you produce a doctor, and the quality of the doctor is governed by the medical ordinance that is governed by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. At the moment, we are fighting against this Malabe private medical college, because it lacks standards and it has not got any approval from the Sri Lanka Medical Council.
So do you have a published standard that somebody should apply if they're starting a college?
Yeah, that is laid down by the Sri Lanka Medical Council, minimal standards for the starting of a private medical college. One who wishes to open a private medical college should get the approval from the medical council, and they have to had the teaching hospital, and the standards should be strictly maintained by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. But this Malabe, they lacks everything, and they are at the moment also they are not interested in fulfilling the SLMC the guidelines, and they are going in some other direction.
What's the direction when you say some other direction?
Yeah, because that from the inception, this Malabe Private Medical College, they have not followed the regulations of the Sri Lankan Medical Council. They initially said that they will, they are Saitam, the name was last word letter is M, and the M was they meant for the management, not the medicine. Suddenly, after the BUI approval, they have changed their name to the medicine, and now they are having a medical faculty without health ministry approval. And initially they said they will the first few years they will teach in Sri Lanka, and they have an affiliation with the Russian university called Nizhny Novgorod University in Russia, and they will send these students to Russia. But the Russian embassy clearly said there is no Sri Lankan medical school in Sri Lanka, Russian one, and SLMC also said that they are not giving the recognition for this twin degree, that part of the exam in Sri Lanka and part in Russia. Right. And then only they thought of this teaching hospital, and they started hospital, but the patients are not coming to the hospital, and the exposure to the medical students there is not that good.
But Harita, look at the state of government hospitals. I mean, ordinary people, the patients, they suffer. They I mean, like what they say, the same doctor, you go to a government hospital, you are neglected. But the same doctor goes to a private hospital because they pay, are looked after. You all are supposed to treat people, take care of patients. What have you got to say to that, Harita? Yeah.
That question, we have a membership of around 18,000, and there may be some examples in the communication skills, and there is some lack of soft skills of the doctors. Therefore, we have started this Good Intent program for the doctors who are recruiting the government service, and we hope that the minister and the health ministry is also helping us, and some of our soft skills has to be developed regarding the communication skills and empathy towards doctors. Not in all instances, but in few instances we have also reported that there were media reports that something is lacking.
Should we be worried about ETCA, the transfer of professionals from India?
Yeah, original name was the CIPA, and now the government has changed it as the ETCA. The thing in ETCA is the ETCA is not only the simple agreement, because it covers the service sector. When the goods the exchange, it is somewhat simpler, and when it comes to this service sector, it is much more complex. And the statements coming from the Sri Lankan government side is contradictory, and initially the Prime Minister in the Parliament said that through ETCA the service sector won't be touched. But after that we had a meeting with Minister Malik Samaravikrama. He said that we are going to have a discussion with GMOA regarding the service chapter of the ETCA. But the Prime Minister said there won't be any service, and thereafter we at the moment we had around 4 or 5 discussions with Minister Malik Samaravikrama, and they have not yet finalized the draft proposal of this draft document and framework document. But some of the clauses in that document is contradictory and is somewhat alarming because of the GMO and the other sectors' pressure. Even though the health science was initially mentioned as this topics to be discussed or the offer list from the Indian side and Sri Lankan side, now they say that only the marine engineering and the IT sector will be initially implemented. But some of the clauses in the framework say that they have the chance of eliminating the restrictions and including the health sector also in that list.
I've got another question from another viewer. What is the world accepted ratio for patient to doctor? Are we in Sri Lanka close to that required ratio? If not, what are you doing about it?
Yeah, that is a very good question. And depending on the economy of the country, WHO has given these guidelines. For a country like Sri Lanka, we should maintain a 1 to 1,000. That is the 1,000 for 1,000 patients. There should be one doctor. At the moment, we are having that. We are having around 18,000, 20,000 doctors, and our population is 22 million. And we are having somewhat near, because the every year we are at the moment we are producing 1,200 doctors from the government medical faculties, and by that way we can catch up the level.
But Harita, you see how many patients do you see a day? 200, 300?
Yeah, the thing is the government OPDs and the clinics are overburdened with patients. The government should have more attention in increasing the cadre in those setups.
How many do they see a doctor would see? How many
actually the
OPD?
actual capable number is around 50 to 60 per 6 hours.
But you all see about 300?
Yeah, 200 to 300 in some OPDs.
Now, if we don't do this question, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Because I'm going to see a doctor today, and so on behalf of the nurses, the female nurses, how much of sexism exists in the industry? How safe are nurses? How many complaints do you get a year to say that they are being sexually harassed, or people seeking sexual favors from them, and so on?
Yeah, that data is not available with the GMO. That you have to ask from.
Don't they complain to the GMO?
No. I don't know whether that.
Do you all have a department that receives complaints against doctors?
Yeah, we have a mail line and a hotline, and we are not getting complaints in that regard.
But again, taking from what Faraz said, now in your assistant secretary, you have Anirudh as the president. How many lady doctors are in your committee? How many lady doctors in the GMOA committee?
Yeah, that is a problem. And
you don't have even one.
Yeah, that's a problem because of the family life and other factors. Most of the lady doctors are not coming into the front, and they are helping in the branch level. There are branch presidents and branch secretaries. We have 106 branches island-wide. In some of the branches, the branch presidents are consultant female doctors, and
not in the main.
Not in the main thing, because because of this personal life and the family life, they are much reluctant to come to Colombo.
So that means the male doctors don't have a life, family life.
The thing is that we have a general committee, which is the supreme governing body of the GMOA. They come to the general committee and they share their views with us, and not to the exco at the moment. We will hope that in future they will come to the exco also.
Dr. Harita Alutke, thank you very much for being on Newsline. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And good luck with your ventures. And the next time, when they come asking you about spelling mistakes, tell them there's a button called F7 and it doesn't work on your computer. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
and thank you for watching Newsline. We hope you've enjoyed it. We wish you a great day. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukut Ali.